to shop without stress, to send without fear, to pay without delay. For every rider chasing time, for every home that needs restocking, for every voice that needs connection, for every dream that needs delivery. Now, one app brings it all together.
Supercab, move smart, ride safe, supermarket, groceries, gadgets, everything. Supercash, airtime, bills, transfers, done. Super logistics, fast, secure, right to your door.
It's more than an app. It's your movement, your market, your money, your connection, all in one place. Supergo, one app, for services, endless. Download Supergo today. Live free, live fast, live smart.
No time to shop, no stress. With Supergo, your groceries comes to you. We partner with trusted vendors, verified stores, no delay, no excuses, just values. Supergo Supermarket, your market now in your hands. With Supergo, your ride is comfortable, easy and convenient.
Supergo is more than an app. It's a movement. Moving people, powering threats, delivering value.
Keep watching Sam TV.
Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to the morning show of Some TV. My name is Olayinka Gabriel. It's a beautiful morning. Welcome you from the city of Jalingo to this beautiful morning on Morning Show, where we bring you happenings around the world, things that are happening in Nigeria and things that are happening in the world. It's an interesting time in the history of our country. You know, a lot of things are happening both home and abroad. In our political scene, a lot are happening. But one of the things that's shaping a nation is the resilience of his people. One thing we must not compromise with is our democratic antecedent. We must understand from where we are coming and where we are going. No nation is built in one day. It requires a collective responsibility of both the lead and the leaders to be able to build a strong, resilient, and vibrant nation. Yes, in the history of our country, we are facing a lot of challenges currently. But we cannot say that we are not making progress. We are facing challenges of insecurity here and there, banditry, kidnapping, you know, and a lot of things. But we don't need to give up on our country. We don't need to give up on our nation. It's my pleasure this morning to welcome you to Morning Show. And as usual, we have a lot in stock for you today. Please don't turn your videos, your TV set anywhere you are watching us from. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Twitter. We're live on Instagram. We are live on several decoders, and I can assure you today that there will be a lot of interesting things to watch on the morning show of Some TV. With me this morning is Mr. Iran Upe, who is the director of news of Some TV. Welcome to the morning show.
Good morning, sir. Welcome. Morning show too.
Okay, thank you so much. Without so much ado, we're going to go straight to the newspaper of today. And let's start with the Punch newspaper. Punch newspaper of today has a lot of headlines. And one is Kebbi School kidnap. Survivors relive night of horror. Night of horror.
Yes, it was actually a night of horror. I saw the clip on social media where one of the bereaved was
okay, the wife of the principal,
okay,
the vice principal that was killed.
Okay, so she was narrating things in Hausa, and it was really experience that somebody didn't wish his enemy to have. It's quite pitiable. It is quite devastating. The impact of such experiences will be long lasting. Right, presence, you see your loved one being slain without any reason, because those senseless killings came as a result of banditry, whose motives actually just to cause confusion in the society, see that people are not living in peace. That is something that the government will need to do something about it as soon as possible. We've seen reports that indicated that the vice president killed this morning. Truth is, whatever time he arrived, Kibi, whether it's this morning or later, truth is, I have always not supported this kind of endeavors, in the sense that as he is moving to Kebbi now, government dignitaries will be in his entourage. This movement costs lots of money. Know how will the vice president go to Kebbi? Will come back and he will say, funds not been expended. The security, boiling, and other things like that, logistics, and every other thing that will happen today in Kebbi will cost lots of money. Looking forward to next time. Some of these visits are not necessary. Even if he has to go, it should be some kind of a private visit, not that elaborate ones where he will go with about 50 delegates, entourage, members of the entourage. Lots of money, millions of naira will be spent. I think if such funds are channeled towards other worthy avenues that will help better the lives of people of Kebbi State, it will serve better.
I saw a report online. I don't know how true that report is, but if the report is true, then there is a lot of, it's very disturbing. And the report said that DSS shared its intelligence reports showing that there is possibility of a possible attack. In that report, which I saw people like DG Adeyanju shared on Facebook, I was told that the report is from the X handle of a particular, that after the DSS shared the report that there is a possible attack in that school in Kebbi, the state governor mobilized and called for a security meeting, and a troop was deployed to that area. So that even the troop, when they got to that area, they had drilling with the students, and after having drilling with the students, they even take some pictures according to unconfirmed reports. Then they were there, then early in the morning they left. But the attack happened just about 30 minutes after they left the school. So I don't know how, because this also call about information sharing and our level of proactiveness. Because as we keep saying, these people definitely are in a particular environment or a particular area. And one of the best way to fight such is not to wait, because one of our major problem is our lack of being proactive. Because if we are proactive, we will be able to curtail some of these attacks, not until when the attack has taken place, we now begin to run, helter-skelter, sorry. So really it's very disturbing, and we hope that the authority, hostel staff, Slim Vafi Manley, others share chilling account, parent with Senate Proof 1.1 billion Safe School fund. There is this project called Safe School. The project was supposed to provide security for schools across the country. I think the project was in collaboration with civil defense and all that. So it's good to, and a whopping sum of about 140 something billion is a mark for such a project. So there must be an holistic approach, because if our schools are not safe, then the level of enrollment will affect the level of enrollment. Eventually, it will affect the level of literacy level in our schools and so forth. I don't know if from the studio they could play that disturbing video of the vice president, the vice principal's
Wives
narration, because she gave a narration that that shows that the people actually stayed for long in the environment, which is an enough time. Okay, let's take the video.
Abin da ya faru, muna kwance da daddare shiyoyin karfe 3:30 sai na ji moci sama gehen window da muke kwance, sai nike ce mishi ya tashi, awaki suna muna banna, ko da na duba yana bacci, in motsa haka in ce mishi ya tashi, sai na ji an buɗe kofa da ƙarfi, ana shigowa ni ce ka tashi fa ga awaki nan sun bude gida, yana tashi sai ga barayi da bindigoginsu sun bude gambu da ƙarfi sun shigo, suna shigowa sun kika bindiga za su halbe shi, ya ce ku halbe ni ku bari in tashi, yana tashi ya yi kabbara Allahu akbar Allahu akbar la ilaha illallah Muhammadu Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ya ce mini kada ki yi kuka, ki yi ta kabbara, ki yi ta kabbara. Mun ka yi ta kabbara da ni da shi, sun ka ja bindiga sun ka halbe shi, suna halbin shi ya hwaɗi, na juyo zan taɓa shi, sun ka gyara bindiga sun ka ce da na taɓa shi ni ma za su halbe ni, sun ka jawo min hannu mun ka hito waje in goya yaro mu je, har da bugun shi sun ka mari yaro ya yi ta kuka, in goya shi mu je, na ce ba zan tafi ba, kun kashe babansu sannan za ku ce mu je, ina za ni bayan kun kashe babansu, babu inda zan tafi tunda kun kashe babansu, sun ka jawo min hannu mun ka hito, na ce musu ku sake ni ba zan tafi ba tunda kun kashe babansu, ga yara nan kuka ce su shiga ɗaki su kwanta. Muna cikin haka nan da su sai ga bebi ta hito, tana hitowa ta ce mini mama mine ne, sannan sun ka banni sun ka koma wurinta, sun ka mare ta sun ka ce ta shiga ɗaki ta ba su kuɗi, ta ce ba mu da kuɗi mu talakawa ne, sun kai ta damunta ta ba su kuɗi, suka ce tunda ba su da kuɗi ta wuto su ji, na ce kada ku ɗauke ta, sun ka ja ta sun ka hito, bayan sun hito na buɗe kofar baya na hita, ko da na hita na yi tahiya na duba gehen katanga, su ne zagaye gehen katangan nan, na zo zan taka da ni in hita, sun ka gyara bindiga, ina yin haka na gane su na juyo baya, na dawo ta gehen gidan ga guda, na zo zan taka da ni in hita, sun ka gyara bindiga, na juyo na dawo cikin gida, daga ni sai ɗaure gaba ban da ɗan kwali ban da takalma na hito, ko da na hito sun jawo ta sun yi shiyoyin gada ita, ina kiranta sun ja ta zuwa hostel, na hito ina kuka na koma cikin gida, na ce ma sauran ku ɓoye ni zan hita, suka ce mama kada ki hita, in kika hita za su kashe ki domin suna nan gamocin su nan ina ji, na ce ku yi hankuri in hita, kada su dawo su isko ni tunda suna kiran mu je su dawo su kama ni, ko da duka gida sun zagaye shi da window da ko ina duk sun zagaye, duk inda ka duba su ne suke ta motsi da bindigoginsu, sun ka kashe shi. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un, inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un, inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un, inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un.
To ita diyar taki tana cikin waɗanda aka yi gaba da su,
da sun ka ɗauke ta sun ka je hostel da ita, sun ka je sun ka bude hostel sun ka shiga, sai suka ce ke ki kwanta mu halbe ki, sai ta ce in kwanta ku halbe ni, sun ka ce, sai ta ce to ku bari in yi hitsari, garin haka sun ka bude sun ga wayancan ta yo hitsari, daga nan sai ta sheka ta yi ta shiga cikin daji har ta zagayo ta iso shiyoyin.
Cikin wayannan mutanen da suka zo kina iya dan kwatantawa shin baki ne ko akwai waɗanda yake yan gari?
Gaskiya ban san su ba, amma dai wayannan yara ne, ƙananan yara ne, kuma dada ke gare su, kuma na fita cikin daren nan ina ta haɗuwa da su, don ina haɗuwa da su ina ce musu su wane ne, a lokacin bayan sun kashe shi sun wuce, na gudu na je gidan makwabta na haɗe da su, na ce su wane ne, da kakinsu suke.
Kakinsu na soja ne ko irin na 'yan sanda ne?
Kakinsu na soja ne.
Yanzu in mutum ya magana kina iya sanin kila bafillata ne?
Bafillace ne.
Fulani ne?
Fulani ne. Fulani ne.
So kamar su kina iya ba da kiyasin yawan su da ke da gari?
To waɗanda sun ka shigo gida su uku ne. Akwai mutum biyu da na gani rabin windon da nake kwanci, amma wayancan da suke rabin katanga duhun su dai na yi ta gani, ba zan iya kiyasi ko mutum nawa ba, amma kasa suke.
Lokacin babu suke wuce gaba da makaranta.
Ko dai akwai shi ga wannan lokacin ban gane su saboda
yadda muke son.
Sunana Amina Hassan.
Okay, that was the disturbing video of the wife of the vice principal of the girls' school in Kebbi that was killed during that incident. What do you make out of this?
Really a very harrowing experience for her and for whoever community. We've always calling government intelligence gathering. Give report just like you mentioned. Yeah. This information have been making the rounds that there is pending attack on it. But come to think of it, what do you think the security agencies will be able to do based on the fact that maybe they're ill-equipped or maybe the logistics, because if they were deployed to that place, then after some time, moved out, would be an instruction coming from above telling them to move out. If that instruction had not moved out. So somehow, some of these things, if a superior officer will instruct those in deployment to say, leave that place, most likely it will be based on a particular reason, maybe lack of funds, lack of one thing or the other.
But can we rule out sabotage? Because if it's actually true that they moved out 30 minutes and after then the attackers, could the attackers know that, okay, they are there now they have left?
No.
Because these are the issues.
When we keep talking about sabotage, when we experience this problem, as a way of demoralizing military themselves who are doing.
No, but if there are a true sense of sabotage, then the military need to look at itself, not just the military alone, our entire security architecture, need to purge itself.
Yes, that is actually true, if at all it is like that. But I'm looking at it that if these things keep reoccurring and we keep saying sabotage, and nothing has been done about it, it may not be sabotage, because I'm expecting that if something happened twice, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, one way or the other, they will have looked internally and fished out, though we have received reports of some saboteurs being fished out of the military, passing through some investigations, procedures like that. It could be that there is actually no sabotage. These people may just be observing from afar. You understand? They may be observing from afar and taking advantage of it. If a military deployment is made and the convoy is being moved out, there's a way you will know that these people have left. She mentioned how 3 people here, 4 people, most likely they're not more than 30, they're not 20 or they're not more than 10. Took advantage of the window that these people just left. That means they've been maybe on the ground observing for days. They infiltrate the community, mix around with the community. Most likely they're members of the community that come using the cover of the night, have with them, see that immediately this military moved out.
Okay, we call on the federal government under the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to do something. This is one too many adoption, particularly of girls, Chibok girls, Damchi girls, now KB girls. Something needs to be done. We must not continue to play lip service to what is going on, but something needs to be done dramatically to ensure that the peace and the tranquility that we all are yearning for. Okay, let's go to another top story that is actually making the headline, which is the PDP crisis. High stakes face up. PDP governors resist weakest secretarial takeover. Chaos as police tear gas PDP chieftain Makinde Bala Turaki Wike clash. Yesterday it was a drama at Wadata House.
Yes, drama that injuries were sustained and so much confusion. Well, this is one of the climax of the crisis. I don't think it couldn't have gotten worse than this. We don't know yet, but I think this is the climax of it. It is not the first time that we're seeing things like this in Nigeria. We've seen this kind of crisis at the National Assembly some years back when some agitations were made like that. Now, this calls for the caliber of people that we describe as leaders. Leadership can degenerate to this level where, though you can call it fighting for rights, protecting their rights, because I saw a video clip where Governor Makinde and Bala Mohammed of Bauchi were out by the gate alongside their security operatives and other people, other supporters of theirs, locking the gate to prevent the Wike camp from accessing PDP. Afterwards, we see how Turaki issued a statement sitting in the office of PDP national chairman. And you can see from the background of that video the portrait, a picture of Damagum, the austere, in quotes, the austere acting chairman. So indicative of the fact that he was actually in the office of Damagum, where Damagum was operating as a chairman. So they issued statement and saying they've taken over and then Wiki, Yahoo, and other things like that. But fortunately, or unfortunately,
the Wiki camp
came to somewhere. I don't think that is. I don't know whether it is still.
No, they came to they also came to the secretariat,
but in a different place. Because when Turaki issued that statement, it was in the office of.
Yeah, at the point, there was a kiosk outside. I think the studio should be ready to show us some of the clips, because we have a lot of clips of some of the things that happened at that event. I think we took a lot of them in news at 9 yesterday. So there are different confusion. There was the Wike camp, there was the Damagum camp. At a point, the Damagum camp, led by the new chairman Turaki, were able to gain access because in that video you will see him floated with Makinde, Bala, and somehow both of them fixed NEC meeting and fixed BOT meeting on the same day. Well, so what can be done to resolve such a crisis?
Well, somebody will have to shoot his spot. I keep saying that.
But it looks, some people are insinuating that the Wike camp are there as spoilers. I don't know how true that is, insinuating that the Wike camp are working for the presidency.
I think that whatever it is that peaceful procedures will not achieve, violence will not be resolved. Whatever it is that they see Wike to be, whatever it is that Wike see the Damagum-led camp to be, there is a need for one of that faction that is patriotic enough to step down. Okay, for the sake of peace, for the interest of the party. Because whatever
do you see any of those parties stepping down?
That's what I've been preaching. That is what I've been calling.
Because that is what is causing the mass exodus of people from the PDP.
And the Wike camp did something yesterday in the announcement made by Samuel Ayahu, suspending some political office holders, suspended the Turaki, suspended Governor Bala Mohammed, suspended Governor Sheyi Makinde of your state. But he didn't suspend Caleb Mutfwang, but who attended the convention. He didn't suspend.
No, Mufa did not attend convention. Mufa was not. If I could get it right, even though he issued a statement, but what's his name? The governor of Adama, he was even the chairman of the convention.
Well, I saw a video clip. I don't know whether it was edited. I saw it on social media where Mutfwang was walking. So I cannot ascertain whether he attended or not.
Yeah, I think I saw one video where it looks as if he arrived in Ibadan, where I think he was to climb an upstairs or a lift, something like that. So I don't know whether it's an old video that was portrayed, but at the convention ground itself, we didn't see Governor Mafia of Plateau at the convention ground. But we saw the governor of Adamawa, who is the convention planning chairman. And one confusion that happened there was the fact that, as the chairman of the organizing, the convention organizing, he said, here now, INEC is not here to supervise this. He leaves the matter to the delegates.
Yes, Bala Mohammed said in that video that we were looking for pay for us. Bala Mohammed said INEC was duly informed that they have documents to back up the fact that INEC was duly informed. The prerogative of INEC to decide whether to attain or not. That INEC did not attain the convention, not that the convention is based on some illegality. The only thing that the party needs to have done is on INEC. Now, that is one side of it. Now, who wrote the letter? Did Ayahu? Because as it stands now, Ayahu is the recognized secretary of the PDP. So whatever it is that PDP and the stakeholders are doing, there is a need for them to remember that it is not for their selfish political interest, it is for the interest of Nigerians, and it is for. Now, how do you expect leadership to be entrusted? A group of people who are not ready to make sacrifices for the development of the party. What will they do if they become the president of Nigeria in the long run? I think this is
but there's also another issue in that crisis where the new, or will I call him the factional chairman of the PDP, that is Dr. Samina Turaki, asked Donald Trump to come and intervene. What's your take about that?
Yes.
Because I noticed the APC publicity secretary has issued statement condemning what.
Well, in the way Tanimu Turaki said it, I don't have issues with it, because we actually understand that we have our hands full. We are not able to contain the insurgent for over a long time. We must have.
But he is not talking. He is not talking only about the insurgent now. He is also talking about intervening because for him democracy is being submerged.
Well, I think the motive may not be the way it is rendered in his utterances. Maybe we'll look for him and see how he can give clear explanation. I don't think he will be agitating for the foreign government to come and take over the governance of a sovereign entity like Nigeria. I think that is not his motive. I think his emphasis should be on spokesman. I don't know what he meant, but I think he's speaking on those issues in the view of the trending stories regarding Trump and insecurity and other things like that happening in Nigeria. He's insinuating that the APC-led administration has not done well. So he's supporting President Trump if he's coming to lend a hand in fighting insurgency. That is what I think. If he said anything other than this, then...
In the video I watched, he was not only talking about, he particularly mentioned that what is happening in Nigeria is not only the issue of Christian genocide, but democracy is being submerged in this country. In fact, the APC National Publicity Secretary issued a press statement specifically on that comment of Turaki, where the publicity secretary was trying to condemn what Turaki said, about calling on Donald Trump. But some commentator also are saying the fact that it's a payback day, because if you remember in 2023? 2013 or thereabout, during Goodluck Jonathan. I remember that the APC coalition also that time traveled as far as to America. That was when the president was Barack Obama, and they met the Secretary of State at that time. And in that instance, they talked about genocide in Nigeria. They talked about the killings in Nigeria. And at that time, I remember that even Jonathan said it, that even U.S. Marine were already around the country. And it was like one of the reasons why he just had to concede defeat at that time and the things that took place. So, will it be?
When we politicize these things, there was genocide there. It's true. People have been killed in mass. Mass graves have not ceased since the days of Jonathan Goodluck, even unto the days of President Ahmed Bola. Now, let's be realistic. That is why I don't even want us to shift attention to issues of whether President Trump will come and take over governance or not. As a patriotic Nigerian, the only thing we need to focus is the fact that there's a comment Governor Abuja passed for prioritizing the issue of insecurity over his political moves and other things. That is patriotism. It goes a long way to speak of how you look at this nation. Why should PDP be talking about some of these crises when we have issues at stake? They didn't even mention, I was expecting Turaki to have mentioned, Turaki is from his state. Turaki, I think he's from Kebbi State.
Yeah.
Turaki is from Kebbi State. And he stated yesterday, he didn't mention anything about what was going on in his state. That's desperation. He's too desperate. I'm expecting these political leaders to start talking about issues that has to do with the security of lives and property. As they advocate and agitate for this, who is legal and who is not legal, they should begin to show concern on the lives that are continue to be wasted in Kebbi State and all over Nigeria. That is what I think.
Okay, I think the studio could not get us the video, so let's move on to some of the issues and some of the headline in our paper of today. There are other headlines. If you go to, we just look at maybe papers that talked about some of these issues, just maybe generally, before we come back to some specific issue. If you go to the Tribune talk about PDP's day of tear gas. Cheers. Makinde, Bala, Wike, and others clash over Wadata Plaza. Day is about to break for new PDP and for our democracy. That is according to Makinde. Enough is enough. PD does not belong to one person. That is according to Bala. And no party leadership thank Nigeria for supporting democracy. Wike-backed faction expelled Turaki, Mohammed, Makinde, but they just ordered dissolve Oyo, Ekiti, Bauchi, Lagos ESCOs.
Yes, this is not supposed to be the case.
Because the thing appeared to be fire for fire. You do this,
the two sides are getting it all wrong. When you suspend sitting government as a member of your political party, you no help yourself, no matter how bad that government.
Yeah, but now it seems to be that we have two PDPs. Well, so this PDP will not mind what happens to this other PDP.
So if they admit, I believe this is your opinion, that there is two.
But it's obvious. It's not about my opinion. We have two National Working Committee. We have two Board of Trustees. Are we not having two parties within one party?
That is indictment in itself, because a house divided against itself cannot stand. So I don't see PDP standing until they unify and bring their differences and ignore them and decide to face what they need to do, so they will win elections in 2027. The house divided against itself will not stand. So PDP may not be able to make any significant impact in the coming days until this issue is resolved. And if you remember, this thing has been there for over several months now. And considering that they have not been able to find a lasting solution, then definitely something is wrong.
Okay, we have a lot of headlines, and time is not on our side on these PDP issues. On the Tribune also carried the news about the adopted girls in Kebbi. It says Kebbi school girls adoption. How my husband was killed. That is wife of the slain vice principal. If you go to The Nation, faction in fury, battle to control PDP headquarters. That is the headline on the Nation newspaper. And also on the Daily Trust, the major headline is about the KB adoption. KB adoption, how bandit attack our school. That is according to one of the students. PDP Turaki Wike camp clash at Secretariat. That is the way the headline took it in the Daily Trust. The next paper that also carry those stories are the Daily Mirror. Daily Mirror, Wike back PDP faction, expel Makinde, Muhammad, Turaki, George, and others. Dissolve party state executive of Bauchi, Oyo, Zamfara, Yobe, Lagos, Edo, Ekiti. We are determined to protect Nigerian democracy. That is according to the Bauchi State Governor Bala. And Turaki resumed as PDP national chairman after standoff at Wada Plaza. If you go to Guardians, the Guardian also have the issue of, in the front page, fear of one party rift intensify as PDP crisis worsen on violent. That is the major headline on the Guardian. If you look at leadership also, how my husband was killed, slain teacher's wife recounts. Security operative ignore Department of State Security intelligence. That is according to source. This is what I spoke about earlier. Remain calm, student will be released. That is Army Chief Governor assuring the people. If you go to Vanguard, Wike governors clash as police fire tear gas. That is according to Shetima head to Kebbi as Tinubu bar rescue of kidnapped student. I think we talked about that. The Vice President of Nigeria, talking about Shetima, will be at Kebbi today. We're expecting that he will visit the school and he will also engage with stakeholders. If we see the Daily Independent took the issue of the crisis also in PDP as its major headline. Turaki takes office after chaos on slaying of tear gas at headquarters. Wike group battle new National Working Committee member governors orders. Over 600 policemen, thugs, lay siege to the party headquarters. 600 police and thugs.
Yes, police have to be there to maintain peace and order. I think if the policemen were not...
But were the police neutral in that? We saw a particular place where the police were pushing the new chairman, you know, and the governor of Bauchi, and I think Makinde were following him, you know, move.
What do you expect the police that are in the convoy of those governors to do? They're actually supposed to be answerable to the directive that is issued by the principal.
So but if the police, thank God to some extent, the chaos was controlled, because these governors have security aides also. There were also new police that were deployed within that scenario. If there, thank God it did not lead to a point where some of them began to remove their guns, maybe to protect their principal, you know. So what's supposed to be the standard operation within that kind of environment?
I think the scenario I tried to narrate on this platform, there is a way people take advantage of good folks, of lacunas like that, exploit it to their advantage. It is a known fact that the governor's security contingent will definitely protect the governor. Now, it is not accidental that Makinde and Bala Mohammed were in that think they already envisaged that this. So now they brought in their two security entourage to help.
Yeah, but apart from that, I think there was also a deployment of police from the FCT's police command.
They couldn't,
because that is what gave us the total number of our 600 policemen.
Yes, I still believe that those policemen that came from the FCT police couldn't have started harassing these people who are actually doing what they're supposed to do. Because as a security operative attached to the convoy of the governor, you're supposed to protect the governor at all costs, even if it is another policeman. I've seen situations where a junior police officer disregarded.
Okay. Look at part of what Daily Independent is saying. Tear gas Governor Bala, Makinde, PDP members, journalists. Why we invite police by embedding Senator Nyau? Meaning, from this statement, it is the Nyau camp that invited the police of the FCT command.
Yes, because maybe they don't have a security deployment like the governors have. But I think what they should have done at that point in time is allow for this. If it were a crisis situation, the Nyau camp or the Turaki camp will have just tried to shift. They will have gone to Wadata Plaza today, and I don't think there will be any issue. That they came together on the same day and trying to see that they can as well go and hold the meeting that they want to hold. Not necessarily that.
If any of the faction believe that if they did not hold the meeting at the PDP headquarters, that do not give them the control of the party.
If the Nyau camp had waited, Bala Mohammed will not, and Makinde will not be going to Wadata Plaza. They were there yesterday.
The true sense is that it's one person that's supposed to be in charge. Is it that? Because that's why I'm saying that we have two PDP currently. Because if it's a matter of today, this one sits, tomorrow another sits, it means that we're having two parties in one party.
We've already established that, but I think they should follow whatever they agitate for in a more civil. Yesterday it was a chaos where the sitting minister and two governors that we describe the honorable minister, Your Excellency, the executive governor. I saw Bala Mohammed moving up and down, adjusting his cap. It does not speak well of us as a nation.
Okay, there is serious threat to democracy. That is according to Turaki. Urged President Tinubu to call Minister Wike to order. ADC condemned attack on PDP headquarters, said democracy under siege. That is according to the Daily Independent. Okay, let's go to another story that is making the headline in most of the papers today, and that is the issue of ASU strike. If you go to the Tribune, on top of the Tribune, again, ASU accused federal government of non-readiness to meet demand, threatening fresh nationwide strike. This unending ASU issue.
Well, we grew up to see that strike.
Yeah, because some of us have gone to school over 20 years ago.
As far back as 1992, I remember that I think 92, 93 was when I had the first issue of strike. Then hardly will there be 4 years.
That is the year that a student is supposed to spend in I hardly we have any student in the Nigerian contemporary history that has spent his 4 years in the university and did not experience strike.
A barrister friend of mine was saying that we should introduce ASU strike as a course in academic institutions, so that students will actually study it and know that this is the way to go about it when it happens. Universities have gone on strike in the middle of exams.
Yes,
in the middle of exams.
I think that this particular thread also has a date.
Yes, I think it's coming up on the 21st, on the 21st of this month. That's on Friday. Now, if that comes to happen, most likely, State University will be affected. exams.
21st should be this Friday. Yes. Next tomorrow.
So you see, maybe we should think about if a leadership of a nation fails to address issues like this, civil issues like ASU strike and all that, how do you expect them to address issues of this? Actually, capital intensive and technical about it. We have so many failures in Nigeria, and only God that will help us, because we are people of faith, we always resort to God. But I think these people that are getting it right in other climes don't have two heads. It's just that we must admit that our leadership has one fault here and there in handling this. I suggested that if the president now will say, okay, I don't want any other project, we should suspend any other. Once and for all, whatever it is that ASU wants, even if it's 1 year, so that there will be no strike again for the next 10, 15, 20 years.
Actually, I agree with you, because we have the ASU agreement of 2003, the ASU agreement of 2000.
You can appoint ministers and tell senators and say, all of you in the National Assembly no salary for 6 months.
Will they agree?
It will come. We have this way that president will have his way. If he really wants to do it, no money for you until you settle. You can use it, bring it as a public opinion, look for people that will come and support you, and see to it that this issue is solved. It's possible. You understand? It's possible. It's just that I don't know whether because I think.
Okay, we could see that in so many other papers also, this issue of ASU strike. If you go to Guardians, the Guardian also have the issue of ASU strike in there. ASU reject federal government proposed salary increment. So that's one other things that you see. So in so many other papers of today, you can see the issue of ASU strike being. Okay, we don't have so much time. We need to end this segment because we'll be going for another segment. Let's just go through generally some of the headline of some of the papers of today. If you go to Punch, we have other headlines. UN discuss, US envoy, UN discuss, UN envoy Nick Maja decry killings in Nigeria. This issue, we heard that at a UN meeting, the matter came up again.
Yeah, it is there. The Vatican City, the Pope issued statements. Many world leaders are coming up to say stopped here for too long. Call on the government. Too much is given, much is expected. We can't continue to shy away from the truth hiding behind excuses that not actually making the common man on the streets, the common Nigerian, feel safe in every part of Nigeria. More serious in the north, but there is no part of Nigeria that is completely safe in the process. Safe places like that. So I think to whom much is given, much is expected. President, the Vice President, the National Assembly, the service chiefs, that these narratives are changed so that tomorrow it will be that better narratives have been made of Nigeria internationally of the nation.
Okay, if you look at today's Daily Independent, at the bottom of the paper, it talked about issues of genocide or no genocide. Can reaffirm position on Christian genocide, all federal government and global action. They say the president of the Christian Association of Nigeria, talking about Archbishop Daniel, has declared that Christian community across northern Nigeria and the Middle Belt are facing what he described as Christian genocide. insisting that the association will not relent in demanding for justice, accountability, and protection for the persecuted Christians.
Well, I still don't believe that we should get it. The majority of the people that are the recent incident we're talking about in Kebbi State.
But there are some insinuations, I don't know how true, that school seems to be a school with maybe Christian population. There's an insinuation. I saw Raymond Mokri, trying to change that narrative, that what people are trying to post is not correct.
Kebbi State is the state that have both Muslims. And will a Christian be saying Inna Lillahi at the death of a husband? The video we just saw here depicts that the person that was killed.
So I think the whole idea is that people are killed. Whether be it Christian or Muslim, the life of every human being is very, very important. It's sacred. Yeah, we could say that if you look at some pockets of what is happening, because another person asked a question: do we have Christian groups attacking Muslim communities?
Well,
you have cases like that.
Some I saw in one video that was posted on one platform. What happened in those states some months back when northern hunters from Kanu were stopped in Edo State, and all of them were killed. What of that story that happened in Plateau when some people were supposed to attend a wedding somewhere? Everyone on that bus. What is the description of those groups that are? You understand? These people are criminals. They don't actually have religious affiliation. Now look at what that woman said. They were asking of money from the girl that in Hausa in that video that was. They are just criminals. They are just soldiers of fortune. People that just want to get money at the expense of people's life. That is what we should use. When we streamline this narrative to Christians being killed, it is true that many Christians have been killed. And as well, many Muslims have been killed. You understand? So I think we should just describe these people as criminals that are killing human beings in Nigeria. Instead of saying Christians. Well, Khan should be able to what is Khan supposed to do? It is a faith-based organization that is supposed to protect the interests of faiths that they are leading. Now, this statement is said because they are the leader of Khan. If Muslims too are being killed, the leadership of Muslims, we've seen Jamaat Nasir Islam came out to say they want President Trump to retract his statement of saying this. So all these things are there. But I think in reality, in empirical terms, we should be able to say criminals are killing Nigerians, not necessarily Christians. Not necessarily.
Okay, we are going to take a commercial break now, and after the commercial break, we will come back to the next segment of Morning Show. All we are saying is the fact that the killings must stop. Every life of every human being is very, very important in Nigeria, and the killings are too many, and we cannot continue like this. So, and based on our constitution, the security of lives and property of the people is the primary essence of government. We are going to take a commercial break. When we come back, Morning Show will continue. Please don't go away.
My wallet sharp, send money, go any bank, do all my transactions inside.
We launched SuperGo yesterday in Yola. Now available in Taraba and Adamawa, and we're covering 36 states before 2026. Download SuperGo today, Nigeria's first lifestyle app. SuperGo. Move, buy, pay, live.
Every day begins with a need to move with purpose, to shop without stress, to send without fear, to pay without delay. For every rider chasing time, for every home that needs restocking, for every voice that needs connection, for every dream that needs delivery. Now, one app brings it all together.
Supercab, move smart, ride safe, supermarket, groceries, gadgets, everything. Supercash, airtime, bills, transfers, done. Super logistics, fast, secure, right to your door.
It's more than an app. It's your movement, your market, your money, your connection, all in one place. Supergo, one app for services endless. Download Supergo today. Live free, live fast, live smart.
No time to shop, no stress. With Supergo, your groceries comes to you. Partner with trusted vendors, verified stores, no delay, no excuses, just values. Supergo Supermarket, your market now in your hands.
With Supergo, your ride is comfortable, easy, and convenient. Supergo is more than an app. It's a movement. Moving people, powering threats, delivering value.
Ina miƙa saƙon gaisuwa gare ku masu sauraronmu. Sunana Ikechukwu Obiora. Ina tare da wani bayani mai matuƙar muhimmanci da fatan za ku saurare ni da kunnuwan basira cewar shin gudanar da zaɓe halattacce na gaskiya da adalci a Najeriya shine yayi sanadiyar tsantsar talauci da rashin ci gaba a ƙasar nan a yau. Da a ce jagororin al'ummar ƙasar na tafikar da harkokin zaɓe cikin gaskiya da adalci tun 1960 da Najeriya ta samo 'yancin kanta zuwa yau 2025 da ƙasar ta zama ta farko a ci gaba a faɗin duniya ta kowanne ɓangare. Domin kuwa inda ƙasar ta samo 'yanci daga hannun turawan mulkin mallaka kashi 90 na zaɓukan da ake yi tun daga zaɓen wakilai zuwa na shugaban ƙasa, majalisar dokoki ta ƙasa. Ina miƙa saƙon gaisuwa gare ku masu sauraronmu. Sunana Ikechukwu Obiora. Ina tare da wani bayani mai matuƙar muhimmanci da fatan za ku saurare ni da kunnuwan basira cewar shin gudanar da zaɓe halattacce na gaskiya da adalci a Najeriya shine yayi sanadiyar tsantsar talauci da rashin ci gaba a ƙasar nan a yau. Da a ce jagororin al'ummar ƙasar na tafikar da harkokin zaɓe cikin gaskiya da adalci tun 1960 da Najeriya ta samo 'yancin kanta zuwa yau 2025 da ƙasar ta zama ta farko a ci gaba a faɗin duniya ta kowanne ɓangare. Domin kuwa inda ƙasar ta samo 'yanci daga hannun turawan mulkin mallaka kashi 90 na zaɓukan da ake yi tun daga zaɓen wakilai zuwa na shugaban ƙasa, majalisar dokoki ta ƙasa, gwamnonin jihohi, 'yan majalisun jihohi da shugabannin ƙananan hukumomi. Ba zaɓe na gaskiya ake yi, zaɓe ne na murɗiya, danniya da maguɗi gaba ɗaya. Za a iya cewa 'yan Najeriya ba sa zaɓar ainihin shugabannin da suke ƙauna, sannan ana mulkar su ba da amincewarsu ba, wato ba da jagororin da suka zaɓo suka ɗora a kan kujerun mulki ba. Babu shakka rashin samun ingantaccen zaɓe shi yasa ake yi wa demokaradiyyarmu kallon bi'ahu a wannan lokacin. Yanzu a ƙasar nan wani abu mai sauƙi amma abin takaici shine yadda ake fashi da magudin zaɓe da yadda masu ruwa da tsaki a sha'anin zaɓe ke naɗa hukumomin zaɓe da jami'an hukumomin, inda su kansu jama'iyyunsu ko 'yan takarkarinsu ke tsayawa takara a wannan zaɓe wanda ya zama kamar mutum ne ya alƙalanci kansa a fagen shari'a. Na san yana da muhimmanci a yi amfani da na'urorin tantance zaɓe da na haɗa sakamakon zaɓe wato BVAS da IREV wanda hukumar zaɓe mai zaman kanta ta ƙasa INEC ya zama dole a yi amfani da su a zaben Najeriya. Wannan tsarin ba zai magance matsalar magudin zaɓe ba in har hukumomin zaɓe ba su kasance masu gaskiya da ƙin marawa wani ɓangare baya ya yi magudi ba. Waɗanda ke tsara magudi da ba da umarnin yinsa yawanci shugabannin hukumomin zaɓe ne wanda ke aiki da haɗin kanmu 'yan siyasa da son zuciya domin cin ribar 'yan siyasa ko jam'iyyun da hukumomin zaɓe ke marawa baya waɗanda ke yin duk mai yiwuwa su murɗe zaɓe ga masu gidansu. Jami'an hukumomin na yin iyaka ƙoƙarinsu na mai da hannun agogo baya ga wanda ba sa so. Maganar gaskiya ita ce, duk da amfani da na'urorin zaɓe za a iya bijiro da hanyoyin maguɗi a samu nasara musamman ta hanyar birkita yanar gizo da ɗauke wutar lantarki domin a cimma burin haka. Sannan da gangan za a iya ƙin fitar da sakamakon zaɓe ko jinkirta fidda shi da sauran hanyoyin maguɗin zaɓe. Duk wannan na nuna gazawar na'urorin zaɓe cewa ba lalle ne su iya magance magudin zaɓe ba har shugabannin hukumomin zaɓe ba su da gaskiya kuma kamar yadda ake zargi hukumomin zaɓen Najeriya ba sa aikin zaɓe na gaskiya suna yi wa waɗanda suka saka su aiki magudi su ci zaɓe ne kawai. Saboda haka hanyar tabbatar da gaskiya da adalci a zahiri a zaɓe kaɗai ita ce a samar da yanayin da za a naɗa malaman zaɓe su zama masu cin gashin kansu ba ruwansu da duk wani ɗan siyasa musamman shugaban ƙasa da gwamnoni. Haka kuma in dai ana so kuma halattaccen zaben da zai karɓu a ƙasa baki ɗaya a ƙarƙashin amintacciyar hukumar zaɓe ita ce hanya ɗaya da za ta sa ƙasar nan da al'ummarta ta ɗaukaka kuma a fitar da jama'a daga ƙangin talauci sannan ta haka ne za a iya fidda albarkatun da Ubangiji ya yi wa Najeriya domin 'yan ƙasa su amfana ta hanyar ayyukan ci gaba da rage raɗaɗin talauci. Haka ne zai sa ka ji ƙasarmu a cikin manyan ƙasashen da suka ci gaba a duniya. Gaskiya ina mai miƙa shawarata akan a yi wata sabuwar hukumar zaɓe mai cin gashin kanta wadda za a ba ta cikakken 'yancin gudanar da zaɓe a dukkan saƙo da lungu tun daga matakin tarayya, jihohi da ƙananan hukumomi kuma a tabbatar da cewa kwamishinonin zaɓen an ɗauko su ne daga ƙungiyoyin ma'aikata aƙalla 6 a karɓe su daga Majalisar Ɗinkin Duniya kuma kwamishina guda ɗaya a ɗauko daga hukumar sa ido ta duniya a samu jimillar kwamishinoni guda 13. Sabuwar hukumar zaɓe mai zaman kanta ya kyauta a ce tana da ƙarfin ikon ɗorawa da sauke duk wani ma'aikacin hukumar har ma da shugabanta. Zaben kwamishinonin hukumar zaɓe zai zamo kamar daga ƙungiyar ma'aikata kamar haka. Ƙungiyar malaman kwalejojin fasaha wato polytechnic su zaɓi kwamishina da zai wakilci yankin arewa ta tsakiya. Sannan ƙungiyar malaman jami'o'in Najeriya su zaɓi kwamishina daga yankin arewa maso gabas. Hukumar akantocin Najeriya wato ICAN su zaɓi ɗaya daga cikinsu ya wakilci arewa maso yamma. Sai kuma ƙungiyar lauyoyin Najeriya su zaɓi wakilin da zai wakilci kudu maso gabas. Ƙungiyar likitocin Najeriya su zaɓi wanda zai wakilci kudu maso kudu. Sai kuma ƙungiyar 'yan jaridu ta ƙasa ta zaɓi wanda zai wakilci yankin kudu maso yammacin Najeriya. 'Yan siyasa da sauran mutanen da suka riƙe mukamai a Najeriya ba za a yarda a zaɓe su a kowanne irin mukami ba a sabuwar hukumar ta zaɓe. Majalisar Ɗinkin Duniya da ƙungiyar tabbatar da adalci ta duniya ba su cancanci su naɗa kowa ba a kowanne irin matsayi matuƙar ɗan Najeriya ne a wannan sabuwar hukumar zaɓe. Aikin shugaban ƙasar ne ya karɓi sunayen mutanen da aka gabatar masa tare da takardunsu na ƙwarewar aiki domin aikawa zauren majalisar dattijai da kuma majalisar wakilai ta ƙasa domin tantancewa. Babu wani ko wasu da za a gabatar da za a yadda a yi watsi da shi ko kuma a tsige shi sai an samu tattaunawa da samun daidaito na aƙalla 2/3 na majalisar dattijai ta ƙasa da kuma majalisar wakilan Najeriya kuma kowanne wakili ya yi zaben cikin sirri, kuma a nuna wa duniya yadda ake yin zaben ta kafofin watsa labarai na zamani, kuma a tabbatar an hana zaɓe ta hanyar amon murya. Sannan wa'adin mulkin kwamishina a ofis kar ya wuce shekara 4. Ya zama dole a fayyace cewar kafa sabuwar hukumar zaɓe mai zaman kanta ta ƙasa ba zai zamanto wani yunƙuri na ƙwace mulki daga hannun jiha ba, tunda za a karɓe ikon naɗa hukumomin zaɓe daga hannun gwamnoni da shugaban ƙasa, a bar shi a tsaka-tsaki, wanda hakan zai ƙarfafa ƙudurin fidda Najeriya daga talauci. Ina so na sanar cewa tun daga nan Majalisar Ɗinkin Duniya da Hukumar Tabbatar da Adalci ta Duniya ba za su saba wa 'yancin ƙasa saboda zaben da za su yi ba. Ba za a yi shi da ƙarfin tuwo kowanne iri ba, sai dai Najeriya a matsayinta na cikakkiyar ƙasa ce za ta buƙaci a yi zaɓukan, wanda za ta shiga yarjejeniya da Majalisar Ɗinkin Duniya da Hukumar Tabbatar da Adalci ta Duniya su cimma manufar. Kuma Majalisar Ɗinkin Duniya da Hukumar Tabbatar da Adalci ta Duniya za su buƙaci Najeriya, kamar sauran hukumomin da suka ci gaba, sun ɗauki sata ko magudin zaɓe a matsayin abu mafi muni, kuma rashawa da tafi kowace ƙazanta. Kuma ganin Majalisar Ɗinkin Duniya ta ƙirƙiro hukumomin yaƙi da rashawa a ƙasashe da dama, kamar su Guatemala da El Salvador. Majalisar Ɗinkin Duniya za ta ji daɗin shiga lamari irin wannan a Najeriya. Ba da daɗewa ba, shugaban ƙasar Honduras, Xiomara Castro, ya aika wasiƙa ga Majalisar Ɗinkin Duniya, ya buƙace ta da ta ƙirƙiro wa Honduras hukumar yaƙi da rashawa da barnar dukiya a ƙasar, inda suka sanya hannu a takardar yarjejeniyar fahimtar juna dangane da lamarin. Tabbas Majalisar Ɗinkin Duniya na da ƙwararru, shahararrun ma'aikata da tsarin tafikar da aikin gwamnati fiye da kowa a duk faɗin duniya, wanda ake zaɓa daga Afirka, Gabas ta Tsakiya, Asiya, Turai, Amurka da ƙasashen tsibirin kudancin nahiyar Amurka, wato Caribbean Nations da sauransu. Hakika na gabatar da ƙudurin garan bawul ga kundin tsarin mulkin ƙasa dangane da samar da sabuwar hukumar zaɓe mai zaman kanta ta ƙasa, wato INEC, wanda nan gaba kaɗan za a sanarwa da jama'a, sannan na miƙa shi ga Majalisar Tarayya ta ƙasa domin dubawa. A ƙarshe bari na ja hankalinmu gaba ɗaya. Mu tuna a kodayaushe cewar da daɗewa mafi rinjaye daga cikin mutanenmu na rayuwa cikin matsananciyar yunwa, jahilci, cututtuka, ungoyin marasa galihu, rashin tsaro da aikin yi, duk a sanadiyar rashin wadatacciyar gwamnati, rashin halattacciyar gwamnati da aka samar daga magudin zaɓe da jan ragamar gwamnati ba tare da amincewar jama'a ba. Saboda haka ya kamata mu haɗa ƙarfi da ƙarfe mu yaƙi wannan annoba da masun da ke hannunmu, kamar su gaskiya, adalci, ingantacce kuma halattaccen zaɓe, domin samun nasara ta bai ɗaya, domin mu ɗaga hannuwanmu cikin izza da ci gaba mai ɗorewa. Ubangiji ya albarkaci Najeriya. Sunana Ikechukwu Obiora, naku.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome to the last segment of our morning show this morning. I believe that you have been enjoying all the beautiful things that we've been sharing with you on this morning show. And this last edition is specifically on Taraba News. Is on Taraba News. That is where we look at things that are happening within Taraba and within the state generally. That's what we consider under this particular segment of the morning show. Okay, let's start with the major headline on today's paper, which talked about the 16 local government chairmen that were elected under 16 new LGA chairmen in Taraba State elected under PDP. They come to APC after inauguration.
Yeah, that is the trend now. We've seen reports of political office holders and other Tarabas saying view of the leadership quality of Governor Kepas, who has already indicated interest to the country, that they'll follow suit. But we look forward to this translating into tangible development, of peace translating to the fact that the reason why they were voted for is realized. People are yearning for the development at the local levels, at the various communities. This local government chairman closest to the people in terms of governance. I think that calls for reflection that as they move to APC, they move with in mind the developments that they are supposed to bring to the local communities, their various levels. Wish them well. It is democracy. They have the rights to do that. So congratulations on their inaugurations. To whom much is given, much is.
But you are inaugurated, and on the day of you won election on a platform of a different party, and you are inaugurated. On the day of your inauguration, you decamp to another party.
Well, I don't think it is.
Maybe let's take the video where one of the inaugurated chairmen, that is the chairman of Sardona local government in Taraba State, on the day of the inauguration announced they were elected last week Friday, and last
Saturday.
The last week, that's the upper Saturday. Yes. That is on the 8th of November. Yeah. And on yesterday, they were inaugurated. They were elected on the platform of the PDP. And after their inauguration, on the day of the inauguration, one of the chairmen announced that all the 16 of them that won the election under the platform of the PDP have become to APC. Let's take a look at it.
We, the 16 local government newly elected and sworn in local government chairman in Taraba State, hereby formally tender our collective resignation from the People's Democratic Party, PDP. This decision, reached after extensive consultations and careful consideration, reflects our shared commitment to align with the progressive direction of His Excellency Dr. Abu Kepas, Executive Governor of Taraba State. As he will formally join the All Progressive Congress APC and align with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR. Our choice is guided by the need to ensure effective governance at the grassroots. We believe that standing in solidarity with His Excellency will further strengthen our collective mandate, enhance our service delivery, and foster the development vision already taking shape across the state. We appreciate the PDP for the platform it provided us over the years and for the opportunity to serve our people under its banner. However, in the interest of unity and the overall progress of Taraba State, we find it necessary to move in one direction with the governor at this critical moment. We remain committed to the peace, growth, prosperity of our respective local government areas and the entire state. Please accept the assurance of our highest regard. Thank you, sir.
Okay, that is the one of the local government chairmen. That is the local government chairman of Sardona local government. On the day of inauguration, that was yesterday, he announced that all of them that won under the platform of the PDP have now followed the governor to the APC. Okay, let's look at another story from the Taraba newspaper of today, and that is Governor Kefa suspend defection to APC over KB girls' adoption.
Yes, that is quite patriotic. You discover schools were actually closed for today in Taraba State.
Is there some schools later when they also heard that there's not going to be the ceremony again, they asked students to come?
But I think they should have just continued, since now the narrative is that it is because of the fact that Taraba State did to commiserate with KB State about what has happened, the spirit of nationhood. The event was postponed. So I think schools too should have keyed in and commiserated with the KB State government. It is quite bad that things like this are happening. It goes a long way to show the patriotism of Governor of Taraba State.
Okay, let's watch the video where the governor announced the shifting, because today, under the initial arrangement, today was supposed to be the official day for the defection of Governor Abu Kefas to the All Progressive Congress APC. Let's take a look at it.
Dear people of Taraba State, fellow Nigerians, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, in the light of the deeply troubling incident of the kidnapping of innocent schoolgirls in Kebbi State, I have taken the solemn decision to postpone my scheduled declaration and movement to the All Progressive Congress. At a moment when our nation is once again confronted with the painful reality of insecurity, solidarity and compassion must rise above politics. The safety of our children, the most vulnerable and precious members of our society, is far more important than any political activities or ceremony. Today, my heart is with the families of the abducted children, with the government of the people of Kebbi State, and with every Nigerian who feels weight of this tragic incident, especially the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, as a father, as a leader, and as a governor whose administration has prioritized security, education, and the protection of the vulnerable, I believe it is morally right and nationally responsible to suspend all major political events until the situation receives the urgent attention it deserves. This is not a time for celebration. It is a time for reflection, a time for prayers, and a time for unity and collective action. I call on all security agencies, which I know they have the capacity to rescue these children, to intensify effort to ensure the safe return of the girls. I also call on Nigerians to remain calm, vigilant, prayerful, and united in this difficult moment. A new date for my movement will be communicated after due consultations and when it is appropriate to do so. May God protect our daughters. May God heal our land. Amen. May God restore peace to every part of Nigeria. Amen. Thank you and God bless you. Amen.
So, okay, that is Governor Abu Kefas announcing that they have suspended the initial official ceremony for his defection to the ruling All Progressive Congress because of the situation of the girls that were adopted in Kebbi State. But when that announcement came, there was some backlash, okay? Because we were told that there were some killings around Takum and Churchanji. In fact, in Taraba News today, it said terrorists killed 6 display residents in Taraba community as Christian leaders raise alarm. Let me read a bit of that particular story. Taraba News learned that the victims were displaced. Ranging terrorists locally dumped as bandits have killed 6 persons in Amadu community in Taku local government area of Taraba State. Taraba News learned that the victims were displaced individuals who are taking refuge in the community. Multiple sources familiar with the situation said the bandits struck on Monday midnight, identifying the disease as Tarfa, Kehema, Nyonga, Nguna, Shungo, Henga, Andose, Intesi, Ando, Madu, and Over Inyonko. Those killings were said to be between 27 and 25 years old, while the 65. Another source, a Christian leader whose name is not displayed for security reasons, told Taraba News that the militant responsible for the attack was of Fulani extraction. The Fulani militant are responsible for the killing. Those killings happen every day. Right now, the residents are protecting the clergy, told Taraba News. Earlier in November, the Taraba State Command of the Nigerian Police commenced an investigation into the alleged invasion of the Chanchanji community in Takun local government area by the armed headers. As the killing headers sparked fierce tension in the community, residents include Tukushu and the Philly Abu said the Thursday that armed headers were seen moving into the Chanchanji ward from neighboring Donga local government area, allegedly planning coordinated attack on nearby settlement. The details is on today's paper of Taraba News.
Yes, killing has been going on in Taraba, just like we've seen in other parts. We are in a state of war. It is true. We've said that severally, and other commentators. Nigeria is in a state of war. No part of Nigeria is exempted from killing. When you see relative peace in a community, you appreciate God and you appreciate the efforts of the security agents. This is quite pitiable. We commiserate with those who have died. You mentioned backlash.
Yeah, you know, when the governor announced that he's suspending because of the Takum, the Kebi. So a lot of people, if you look at over the internet, you know, were saying, why was there killing in your backyard and you did not say anything? You were looking at the killing somewhere else.
Well, I think statements, I'm not saying, not speaking as a spokesperson of the governor, this is personal opinion, so that it's not misquoted. The truth is that it does not mean that what you have said concerning Kibi is celebrating the fact that the one that is happening in his backyard. He has not celebrated the one that's happening in his backyard. There are so many instances where such occurrences happen, and body language, his position, endeavors towards coping such insecurities have been there. It has been made manifest in the past. That is what I think. That he has not mentioned this particularly. That does not simply mean that he relegated this one over the other one. A killing is killing. He mentioned how his father not happy with the fact that killings of children adopted from their schools is something that should be celebrated. So I think it is the same spirit. When you condemn evil somewhere, you're still condemning the one in your backyard. That is what I think.
Okay, let's go to another headline on Taraba News today, which is former PDP chairman in Taraba State, Lajibawa, joins APC. Let me take maybe a little of that story. The former chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Alhaji Abubakar Bawa, has officially joined the All Progressive Congress, that is APC, 48 hours after he left the PDP. In a press conference he addressed in Jalingo, Bawa said is now a member of the All Progressive Congress. Maybe let me quote a little. You will recall that I resigned my membership of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, 2 days ago, and by implication, my position as the state chairman of the party. As I stated in my letter of resignation, it was a painful but necessary decision in view of the intractable crisis within the party and at the national level. Taraba State has become a model state politically, and all the action across the party divides have contributed to the current peaceful atmosphere that paved our political space. Since my resignation, I have engaged and consulted with relevant leaders and sections within and outside the state on the way forward. And I have decided to align with our leader, His Excellency Dr. Abu Kefas. It is therefore my pleasure to inform you and the general public that my teaming supporter, that I am now a member of the All Progressive Congress. Maybe let's take a look at what he said. I think some TV was there at that particular press conference.
And have decided to align with our leader, His Excellency Dr. Abu Kefas. It is therefore my pleasure to inform you and the general public that I and my teaming supporters are now members of All Progressive Congress APC. I wish at this point thank you members of the press for your support for me and my political journey. Thank you and God bless you all.
Okay, that is the PDP chairman or former
PDP chairman of Taraba State.
Former PDP chairman of Taraba State officially declaring that he is now a member of the APC. Okay, we have other news on the Taraba News today. APC Kaka Forum nationwide welcome newly defected Kaka sons and daughters, calls for unity.
Okay, Kaka from Sangola local government?
Yes. Maybe let me read a little of the story. It says, in a significant political development, the APC's Kaka Forum nationwide has warmly welcomed the recent influence of Kaka sons and daughters who have defected to the party. The forum, which represents the interests and aspiration of the Kaka people within the All Progressive Congress, expressed optimism about the strength, unity, and collective purpose this new membership brings.
Well, that is, it goes a long way to say how active politically is.
What is the connection between tribe and politics?
Well, it's not as if there are no PDP members, but these
are Kaka
who are in APC. So I think it's a political movement that should be commended. When people involved in politics like this, so many benefits. So this is a good move. It's an encouragement to other people to follow suit. That you are politically active and aware like this goes a long way in bringing development. Now this is already a pressure group that can be used to agitate for good governance, to agitate for so many other good things for the people of Kaka and their communities, the whole of Santo Domingo government and Taraba State. So this is a commendable move, and I encourage others who have not formed this kind of organization to form
one. APC National.
And things like that.
Okay, let's just look at today's paper of Taraba News has some analysis which you can get a copy of the letter. One of those analyses is mass public political defection in Taraba State, the legal consequence. That is by Barrister Pius D. Dambwa. So you get a copy of today's Taraba news. There was also another analysis, the mass defection in Taraba to democracy and the people. You will see that also on today's paper of Taraba Suit. Kaji's Director General honors retiring directors of land service and physical planning. That is also in today's paper. Another interesting story in today's Taraba newspaper is Governor Kefas attend passing out parade of Taraba Marshal Security Guide.
Yes, that's community security. That is quite commendable. The support he has given and the life he has injected into Taraba Marshal. Their presence in almost every part of Jalingo go around, especially. There was this scenario that occurred some weeks ago around that runabout along Okari roads. The runabout that leads to TSU Gate and down to Okari roads. There was this confusion that came up. It was the presence of
the
marshal there that caused the situation. Immediately they saw the disagreement between the Keke Napep operator and vehicle driver. It ensued into fighting. It would have degenerated to something else. But immediately the Taraba Marshal operatives came, calmed the situation, which went on. This one of the factors that have proven that Taraba Marshal is a worthy endeavor for every state to.
But the thing other people are looking at, they are not armed. Some of these insecurity situation we have has to do with armed bandits.
I've always believed that when we have robust intelligence gathering, we don't have to. If no criminal will know that he's, though there are instances where they will write a letter and inform communities that we are coming to those two. But in most instances where we have robust intelligence gathering, if these people can just go into intelligence gathering in liaison with army and the police, it's going to go a long way. Just like that incident that I narrated, they call what is called this traffic warders. Immediately they came and handled the situation. So that will go, if we have we have them scattered all over the state. Every community, the idea to gather information, all the police carry it out, take care of it. It's going to go a long way, helping safety of life.
So what's your idea about state police?
I'm in full support of state police. We already have, this is some sort of state police. Taraba Marshal, Neighborhood Watch, and other things like that. State police. I am in full support of state police. Though the technicalities of how they are going to operate is something that I don't have the fine details, but I think when we have state police, the vigilante, the Taraba Marshal, and other things, who will help in gathering intelligence, then disseminate those intelligence gathering to the mainstream security operatives. It's going to be a long of things. You will see how hunters have helped in identifying hotspots, hideouts of criminals on the mountains, in the forest and other places like that. Recently, some months back, we had hunters discovering hideouts of criminals in some mountain area in local government. Cooperatives going there. This is a good move. Commendations to the governor for giving them this kind of support.
Okay, thank you so much, viewers. This is so much we can take on today's edition of Morning Show. And every morning like this, by 8 o'clock, we come to you with several things that is happening across the nation. And today's edition was fully packed. Join us every morning like this by 8 a.m. for Morning Show on Sun TV. I remain your host for today, Mr. Olayinka Gire. I want to appreciate the Director of News, Mr. Ira Ipe, and all other crew that makes it possible for us to view you. Mr. Dominion, who was the floor manager, Mr. Silas Walu, who is the Master Control Officer, and the Assistant Director of News, Mr. Moses, who was helping in one way or the other to make the show beautiful. I'll come your way again tomorrow for another fresh edition of the program. By 10 o'clock, News at 9 will come your way. Thank you so much. Goodbye. See you tomorrow, and God bless you.
Every day begins with a need to move with purpose, to shop without stress, to send without fear, to pay without delay. For every rider chasing time, for every home that needs restocking, for every voice that needs connection, for every dream that needs delivery. Now, one app brings it all together.
Supercab, move smart, ride safe, supermarket, groceries, gadgets, everything. Super cash, airtime, bills, transfers, done. Super logistics, fast, secure, right to your door.
It's more than an app. It's your movement, your market, your money, your connection, all in one place. Supergo, one app for services endless. Download Supergo today. Live free, live fast, live smart.
No time to shop, no stress. With Supergo, your groceries comes to you. We partner with trusted vendors, verified stores, no delay, no excuses, just values. Supergo Supermarket, your market now in your hands.
With Supergo, your ride is comfortable, easy, and convenient. Supergo is more than an app. It's a movement, moving people, powering threats, delivering value.